everyone, my name is Allie Gravois, Associate Director of Admission here at Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. Today we are going to be doing our housing panel, talking a little bit more about our housing options here at MCPHS. I am joined by the Director of Residence Life as well as 3 current students that will be talking a little bit about their experiences. So Irene, Emma, Henning, and Tim, why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hi everyone, my name is Irene Stefanakos. I'm the Director of Housing here at MCPHS's Boston campus.
Hi guys, my name is Emma Costello. I am a current 4th year on the pre-med PA pathway. So I'm a first year in the PA graduate program this year. And I'm originally from Simsbury, Connecticut. And my freshman year, I lived in the Fennel Residence Hall, which is our traditional style.
Hi everyone, my name is Henning Anderson. I'm a 3rd year medical molecular biology major. I'm from Swansea, Massachusetts, and freshman year I lived in Treehouse, but currently I'm an RA living in the Magic Area.
Hi everyone, my name is Tim Holcomb. I am a 2nd year pre-med major, and last year I lived in our Treehouse.
Awesome, thanks so much for sharing. So Irene, why don't you tell us a little bit about the on-campus housing experience for our students at MCPHS?
Sure. So our on-campus housing experience is predominantly our first year student population. So we have students living across 3 different residence halls. Some are shared and some are owned by us. And so we have an experience where students can interact with not only MCPHS students, but also our partnering campuses. We provide space for students to meet each other and build relationships and grow outside of the classroom, which is really exciting. We have student staff like Henning who provide great support for their students, including some programming so they can, again, connect with each other and learn different skills outside of the classroom. And yeah, our spaces, there's 3 different types of spaces that the students get to live in. And so the students will talk to you a bit more about what the living spaces kind of look like.
Awesome, thank you so much for sharing. So Emma and Henning, what are the different styles of residence halls and how do they differ?
Sure. So I'll start off and just talk a little bit about Fennel. So Fennel's our traditional style residence hall, and that's where I lived my freshman year. The traditional style residence hall is set up in double rooms with some triples and quads as well. Each room, though, will have 2 beds, 2 desks, 2 dressers, and then 2 cabinet armoire type things as well to use for storage. And the triple would obviously have 3, quad would have 4, and so on. But the floor is set up with a communal style bathroom on one side around the corner. And then there's also, a kitchen on one of the floors. There's laundry on one of the floors. So kind of everything you need is right there on those couple of floors. We also have a full meal plan for that residence hall because there's no kitchen that we're using full time. So that was kind of the setup of the room. So I lived in a double with one other girl who was in the nursing program. And yeah, we just had a room and a bunch of other friends in other rooms in the hall.
Yeah, I think we can trade off every other style. So the next one would be like a suite style, and that's Treehouse. Treehouse is where I lived freshman year, so it's kind of ironic that we got the styles that we lived in. But Treehouse is set up with 2 rooms of 2 or a room of 2 and 3 people, and those rooms are connected with a shared bathroom. A really cool part about it, they have the furniture just like Emma talked about with Fennel. However, they have a Jack and Jill bathroom, which means that there's a shower in one locking room and a toilet in the other locking room. And the end of the hallway of Treehouse, there's little lounges with a TV and a microwave. So even though you also have a full meal plan like in Fennel, you do get the use of a microwave and a nice shared 3rd floor common area with a full kitchen as well.
So next up after that is Matricaria. So that's where Henning mentioned that he lives right now. So that is our apartment style residence hall. I had a bunch of friends freshman year that lived in Matricaria too that I used to go hang out with over in that building. But that is set up as an apartment. So kind of the primary difference is that you have a full kitchen in the room. So you have the same setup with the bedrooms that we've talked about before, but you also have a living space, with a couch and chairs and a table, and then a kitchen as well, with your oven, your fridge, and so on. So those students are able to cook for themselves and cook meals with their roommates and that kind of thing as well. There's also a bathroom that's attached to that room as well, with your shower, toilet, and sink.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. That was a great overview, and those options are available for students to pick the type of style of residence hall that they like.
Every student that lives in the residence hall is required to have a meal plan. So the way it's set up is that if you don't have a kitchen, as Emma mentioned, you get a full meal plan, which allows you to eat pretty much every meal in the dining hall. And if you do have a kitchen and you have the ability to cook in your living space, you get a partial meal plan, which is essentially half of the full meal plan, and also allows you the option of, getting meals in the dining halls, the convenience stores, and all the other options that are on campus, as well as, having space to cook in your apartment.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So Tim, you might be a little biased to where you lived your first year, but what do you think is the most popular and best residence hall? And then we'll lead it right to Emma.
That's a great question. And I honestly don't know if I am biased, just because I loved the treehouse and the suite style, and having my own bathroom is amazing. But on the other hand, you have to clean your own bathroom. And I don't like cleaning as much. Whereas Fennel, where it's a communal style bathroom, we have like a professional cleaning service that comes in and cleans it. And also it's connected to the main academic building. So some of my friends that lived there, like Emma, their commute to class is an elevator ride down, whereas the treehouse is located off of the main building. So I might have to walk through the rain. So honestly, I wouldn't say there's one over the other that's better. It's the best option for whatever is your own personal needs.
I would agree with a lot of the things that Tim said. Of course, because I lived in Fennel my freshman year, I do have really fond memories from living there and the different friends that I made. The roommate that I had freshman year in Fennel is still my roommate today. So it was really great to be able to form all of those connections when I was living there. But like Tim said, there are just different things that everybody is looking for. Like some people do really like to cook. And so maybe something like an apartment style might be better for you. Some people really like the convenience of the elevator ride, like for Fennel or Matricaria is also attached to our main building, where your commute is just a ride down the elevator. So there's definitely a ton of different, pros to look at for each different residence hall and figure out what kind of works best for you. But ultimately, they're all great residence halls and they are all great spots to live. And either way, you're going to be able to make connections with other students that are in your program or not in your program, and just be able to connect on all those different levels.
Wherever you choose, I know that you're going to be happy. Our residence halls are really great, and you could tell by Emma and Tim's experience here at MCPHS.
Each residence hall actually has the same type of furniture. So in your bedroom, every student will get a twin extra long bed, a desk with a desk chair, a dresser, so a set of drawers, and a wardrobe or a built-in closet, depending on the space. So everyone gets those pieces for themselves within the living space. The other common spaces in apartments like that have a living room will have some soft seating, so a couch and a couple of chairs, and then a kitchen table and kitchen chairs, kind of to accommodate that open space. So I guess everybody gets the same thing.
Sounds great. Great accommodations for everyone, for sure. So let's move a little bit more about the community that's in our residence halls. Henning, I know that you're an RA on campus. And then Irene, if you could just chime in a little bit more about the role in some of your RAs.
All right, so as I mentioned in the little introduction, I'm an RA currently, and I get the opportunity to be an RA again next year. Thank you, Irene. And if you come to campus, definitely deposit because you might have me as your RA advocating for you. And I think there's a little bit of a spoiler about what an RA is. So to me, it definitely differs on an individual RA style, but it's mainly supposed to be a mentor or like a guide, as well as like an advocate for you on the floor. So all of our RAs are upperclassmen. Most of them have lived on campus before, and they know how like MCPHS classes work, how the community works, the way around the city of Boston, and they have the ability to connect the students with any resources they may need, help them with any issues they have, and kind of like build a nice supportive community that encompasses any amount of diversity as well as equity and inclusion. So really cool things that we get to do programs every single month. And the programs cover many different topics such as community building and educational things as well. So I get to design programs that lets me educate my residents, which are all freshmen, as well as helping them have like a great time and meeting other people. So I've given out nice stress bags with little resources like face masks and stress balls, but we've also ran events to go ice skating, and those were subsidized by the floor as well. So you get the opportunity to do many great things on and off campus through your RA. In addition, I can help you if you could just contact me. When you come to campus, make sure you reach out to your RA, even if they aren't me, which would be a dang shame. But going for that, you can just reach out to them and they'll help you with whatever you need.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I have to add. I think Henning really got a good, well-rounded, I don't know, picture of what the RA position is. I think a big piece of that role is really to build connections across the floor and build a community so that folks feel happy and comfortable kind of in their living space. And students always ask how they can apply to be RAs. So usually that process happens between December and January is when our applications are open, and then we do a like nice long interview process to find our next RA staff. So if that's something that interests you and you've been a student leader in high school, definitely take a look at kind of when that process opens up.
Awesome, thank you both. Those were great answers, and it really gives an idea on what it's like to be an RA and the RA experience in a first year's experience living in first year housing. So kind of moving towards that, Irene, I'm going to bounce this back to you on what is a living and learning community. A lot of our incoming students want to make sure they're a part of that, and what are those?
Yeah. So we moved a little bit towards kind of keeping all of our spaces as a living, learning type of community. So what we've done in the past is we've connected our residence halls and our RAs with faculty and been able to bring the faculty onto campus and into the residence halls to kind of talk about their career paths and kind of help make connections. Also, some of them will come and give talks about research that they're doing and things like that. We've had pharmacy specific floors where the RA has been a pharmacy major and done, you know, the medication of the day or the week or whatever. And so they're kind of doing some things that engage the academic side and the non-academic side. We've also had some themed communities in the past. So a fitness floor where the RA would kind of lead both physical and mental health activities for their communities. So we've kind of moved a little bit more into a model that brings that to all of the spaces, which is really exciting. And we hope to continue those relationships and connections with the academic side so that we can kind of help students be successful in their academics through things that we can bring into the residence halls like tutoring and faculty support.
Awesome, thanks so much, super appreciate it. So Tim, why don't you talk a little bit about what move-in day is like?
Oh, great. Okay, so move-in day is, honestly, it's kind of stressful, but also kind of fun. But so basically my experience was I got here, there was a couple tables out. I just kind of gave them my name. They gave me my IDs and my keys to the building. Because Treehouse, you have like a separate ID, just because it is one of the shared residence halls that we have with the Massachusetts College of Art and Design. So you also need like a Mass Art ID in addition to your MCPHS one. But they gave me all of that stuff, and then they gave me some directions to where it is. I found my floor, and then I got like a giant move-in bin to put all my stuff into. And so then I was like able to move it all, wheel it right into my room. Very like kind of chill once I figured out what I was doing. And then it was just very fun because I got to meet so many people just moving in. And like, I know people would stop by my door and just say like, hey, like my name's Emma. I live on the 6th floor and this is my Snapchat. Like, so it was a great way to meet people, especially.
Awesome, thanks so much, Tim. So I'd like to kind of close out today. Emma, if you can just talk a little bit about why MCPHS and why students should deposit and live on campus.
Sure. So To start off, I guess I'll just tell you a little bit about why I chose MCPHS. One thing that I really felt when I was visiting campus, when I was a senior in high school, is just that the support from both, kind of the academic side of things from your faculty members was very strong, but also from the student population. I really liked the idea of a healthcare university where everybody kind of has similar goals in some type of way, and everybody really wants to support you and see everybody else succeed. I know, like, me and all my friends and even older students, like, everybody's always been like so willing to just like help each other out and, see each other succeed. It's not that like competitive, aggressive environment. And that's just like one thing I really felt when I was visiting the school and talking to current students and that sort of thing. And one reason that I really loved living on campus too was just, again, like the community and the ability to meet friends and talk to other students that were in, a really similar position to me, coming into college for the first time. It's probably the first time you're going to be living away from home. And maybe that's further for some people than others. But it was a really great way just to connect with other students, both in my residence hall and my friends that lived in other residence halls as well. But yeah, so I think it's definitely a great, choice to live on campus and to go to this university for the support, for the location, for the specific types of programs that you could be a part of. All of these things are just, like I said, kind of reasons that I chose the school.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emma. And thank you, Irene and Henning and Tim, for joining us. This was really informative, and hopefully everybody out there got a lot of information about our housing on campus. So thanks again for joining us, and we hope that you choose MCPHS.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leah, and I am a third year in the Medical and Molecular Biology program here at Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. I'm also a RA this year and will be next year as well. But I just wanted to kind of come on here and talk to you guys a little bit about housing and what that looks like, some of my experiences in housing, some things that you might want to bring, and kind of clear up some questions that you guys might have about the housing process. So as you are all accepted students, congratulations. Many of you may want to live on campus, which I highly encourage. It's a really fun and really exciting experience as well. I absolutely love my housing experience because I actually went completely random, and I honestly highly recommend that for anyone. And so when you are going through the housing process and you get your questionnaire, and what you do is you answer a bunch of questions. Are you a night owl? Do you prefer waking up earlier in the morning? What type of music do you like to listen to? Res Life will actually go and make sure that you get paired with someone that has something similar to you. And so they do a really great job of matching you with someone that they think that you would do well with in a living situation. And so I did that going random, and it was a really great experience. I still talk to my roommate from freshman year every single day. And it's just a really great way to kind of go out of your comfort zone and meet new people, which I thought is what college was all about. So I highly recommend doing that. If not, you can also choose someone to go into housing with. When you get to go through the process, you actually get to rank the styles. So for me, I really like to cook. And so I put apartment style as my number one. And so in that apartment style, you have one direct roommate and then 2 suite mates. And so I went random for all of that. And so it was really exciting, but we all got along really well. And it was a really great experience. I think that by doing that, it really opened up a lot of opportunities for me, and it was just a really great experience all around. So if you want to go random, I highly recommend it. Just some other things that you might want to know are once you are on campus and everything, you're RA. So for me, I do programs for my residents, which is really awesome. And we have a lot of fun, but definitely go to those. That's how you meet people on your floor. I know a lot of students and myself included, when I was in your shoes, we're worried about meeting new people and making friends, but your RA is really there to make sure that you, that process for you from transferring from being at home and going to college is a smooth process. And so we hold a bunch of different programs throughout the year, doing a bunch of different things. Some of the programs that I did were a scavenger hunt. So I live in Treehouse right now, which is a suite style. And so I had my residents go and find the laundry room as well as the kitchen, so they could see that on the first day when they moved in. Another really fun program I did was I helped them with different programs and the different organizations here on campus, and I brought insomnia cookies. So it was a really great experience there. All my residents really loved that one, but it really got them to understand all the different services that we offer here at MCPHS. And I, since I knew about these offices my freshman year, it helped me get to where I am now by working in the admissions office and having leadership positions as well. So your RAs are really there to guide you and make sure that you're going in the right direction. So something that I wish I knew going into college was definitely to go to your RA's programs, ask them for help if you need anything. That's why we're there. We're really there to help you and act as a resource. So make sure you know that. And we're always a welcome face when you come to campus. The move-in process is super fun as well. It's a super hectic day, but it's really fun. We have offices from all over the university that come and help you and your mom or your dad come in with the big bins, so you can move in your mattress pads, make sure you have all those command strips, as well as all of your belongings as well. So a move-in day is really fun, and it's really exciting that all of you guys will be moving to Boston. But just to kind of clear some things up right now, as you're moving through this application process, there will be more information to come about a housing contract as we are designing a new platform for you so that you can get the most out of your housing experience that you can. But that will be on the way from Res Life. So be on the lookout for that with the email that you applied to the university with. So be on the lookout, as well as just being excited to move onto campus. But I wanted to congratulate you guys once again. Be sure to explore all the videos on the on-demand content here on this platform. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, and I hope to see you guys on campus in the fall.